Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not, and I know what you're thinking. Yep, I forgot to do a gag at the end of the last video. The whole thing, I was setting up. I forgot. I was setting up. The whole thing was that I died at the end of each time I tried to record that review. So what I was supposed to do was go, I did it. I finally did it. Oh, crap. And then push the button. Oh, crap. I pushed the button to make it appear as if I had died again. My dumbass forgot, so I wasn't going to re-record the damn review. Anyway, we're here to talk about FearDotCom. Whatever the hell this movie is. It stars Steven Dorff, and you got Steven Dorff, Udo Kier, who is just a cameo, and then Jeffrey frickin' Combs. And they don't do much with anyone except for maybe Steven Dorff. He's the main character. So, yeah, what it is people have started dying, and it may be connected to an internet site and this weird little girl that everybody keeps seeing. So I watched this movie. As I'm watching it, I'm starting to put something together. I'm like, this is very much. So here's the thing. So you have these two. They're investigating. The cop and a doctor or something. I don't know. They're investigating this case where people keep dying, and it's connected to the fact that all these people went to this website 48 hours before they died. So they watched something, and a certain amount of time afterwards they died, and they usually see a little girl. And then one of our main characters has to track down the little girl's body to see if that will stop it. And it doesn't. Why does that sound familiar? Well, that is pretty much the plot of The Ring. And if you thinking, well, that it's supposed to be ripping off The Ring, I got news for you. That's not possible, because you see, not only did this come out the same year as The Ring, it came out before The Ring. This came out in August. The Ring came out in October. So the only thing I can think of is that they're ripping off Ringu, which is the Japanese version. That someone saw that and went, hey, let's do an American version of that. But so we don't have to pay for the rights, we'll have an entirely different story, but put in story beats. Because it literally is like the story beats. It's a blonde female character that goes to find the body. There's two people in this investigation. It's something you watch that kills you, mixed with a serial killer plot that doesn't really make sense half the time. And Jeffrey Combs is also there. Yeah. And it also doesn't make a lot of sense because they say that this website uses your greatest fear to kill you. Okay, that makes sense for the lady who's afraid of bugs, and the one chick drowned in a tub. She's afraid of drowning. The tubs, I don't know, and I don't remember what the German guy was. But like the guy at the beginning is killed by a subway car. So, what is he afraid of? Subways? Why was he down there to begin with? Doesn't make any sense. And then when Terry, our female lead character, starts seeing things. She sees blood. I'm like, so is she afraid of blood? What? I don't know. No, it's weird. It's weird. This was directed by William Malone, who directed House on Haunted Hill, the remake. Yeah. House of a Thousand Corpses, it's Rob Zombie. House on Haunted Hill, the remake, which is better than this movie. But you could tell it's the same director because a lot of the visuals from the website in here and stuff, it's on the slide. It's very much like those visuals of the ghost and everything. So you could tell it's the same director because it's got that lot of visuals. Kind of like how you watch Ghost Ship and 13 Ghosts and know from the way some of that stuff is designed, it's the same director without even looking at to see who the director is. You're like, is this the same guy? And you look at it and you're like, yeah, it is the same guy. Yeah. I spent all my years thinking this movie is PG-13, but it is rated R. It is rated R. We get tits. One of the things we see is when they find the girl in the bathtub. It must be really cold because her nipples like bing. Like, yeah, it must be really cold in that water. She did it like bing, just like. Yeah. She can cut ice with those things. And I lost my train of thought. And then later, during the climax, it's really out of place though, because you have this woman who's been strapped to this thing. By the way, this is the only victim that we see as a victim of this killer known as the Doctor, played by Stephen Ree. And she's topless, and he's got these straps conveniently over the nipples, right? So when she frees herself eventually, she's just hanging out. She's just, boom! Look at my tits. Yeah, and it's a quick shot, but it's like, why? Just show her from behind running away. Why do we need the money shot, right? The nipple thing from earlier worked because she was in the water. She was naked. She was taking a bath and she drowned. Sure. He had her topless, but I don't know. It's confusing. The one thing I went into this movie knowing is one of the more infamous thing about these movies is the name of the website. The movie's called FearDotCom, but for some reason, the website they go to in this movie is called FearDotCom.com. And there are two reasons why I can think of this. One is that they couldn't use Fear.com as the website because it already existed or something. So they say Fear.com because they made it an actual site that you can, like, interactive stuff. This doesn't do this interactive websiting stuff. And that was exciting and new, and we wanted to explore that. Maybe that's why. My two reasons kind of went together, so yeah. I don't know. Stephen Dorff is good in this, but doesn't get much to do. Jeffrey Combs gets even less. They're tracking down a serial killer known as the Doctor, and we see him. I like that at certain points they don't show him like under the nose, the chin area. They don't show him fully till later. But there's this scene where he's like recording a young woman, blonde, and he's like, I was just recording you because I thought I'm going to put you in a new theater production, and I want you to come to this address, and I don't know what accent I'm using. Come to this address and audition. And she just goes, okay. Jesus Christ. And she shows up, and even this had me, I was about ready to jump out the window. She goes to this place. It already looks pretty fucking sketchy. Then you open the door, and it looks like a fucking torture chamber. I'd be like, and be gone. I'd insert a clip from Nope. And I'd run the other way. No. But she walks in, because that's what the script says. And of course, she's chloroformed. Yeah. So, the guy, I forgot his name, the Udo Kier at the beginning, he had a book about computers. At one point, they go to see the guy who wrote the book, and the guy basically says, the book is a bunch of shit. Okay, but my question is, why would you think that the guy who wrote this book would have any answers you're looking for? It's like, if I'm a cop and I investigated someone died holding a copy of Stay Out of the Basement by R.L. Stine, the Goosebumps book. And they go to see R.L. Stine. He's like, well, what book did they have? And it's like, Stay Out of the Basement. Then that means that what you're looking for is in a basement. And then he just walks away. Did my part. What basement? I don't know. It just doesn't... Eventually, Terry's boss dies because we see he doesn't have his computer. What happened? So we're led to believe he found the website? I know they visit his wife later, and I think she tries to explain, but like, so is he investigating the website or what? Also, are we led to believe that the website that the doctor is broadcasting his murders on is also FearDotCom.com? Because that makes no sense in the climax when Mike turns the website on and it goes off and starts to kill the doctor. It's got to be two separate websites. Every review I've watched of this so far, and that's two of them, Guptari, Felos. They say it's the same website. Although Felos doesn't really say it much, but Guptari did. Guptari, whatever. How you pronounce it? Guptari. I'm just like, I don't think it's the same website though, because if it kills him, then it wouldn't be the same website. Because as soon as you log on, it gets you. You know, it's like watching the tape in the ring. There's a lot of comparisons too, but yeah. And the guy at the beginning, he saw the little girl, and here, our boss, police boss guy, Terry's boss. This is a really weird scene, really weird continuity, because he's like, let me show you with a pen. He goes like, puts the cigarette in his mouth like this. And he takes it out. Then it cuts back and he's got it in his mouth again. Makes it out. And I feel that's the same shot. Because he's like, and then it cuts and it's back in his mouth again. Like it's the same shot. And then he puts it back in his mouth again. Takes it out. He walks because he sees the little girl with the ball. Walks to his car, and it's back in his mouth when he gets in the car. And then he's attacked by evil cigarette smoke ghost. As apparently his fear was he's afraid of car accidents. Because he does start to drive and he crashes. Okay. So they figure out that it had something to do with computers, so they bring it to this woman. I forget her name. Denise. Hello? Welcome to the Denise Show. Now is where we call Denise and hang up on her. Hello? Okay, now's the part of the show where we call the guy that Denise has been seeing and hang up on him. Hello? Hello? I'm gonna kill you. Who is this? Hello, Brian, it's your father. Leave me alone! No, dude. Where the hell was I? Denise. I got off in a tangent there. I'm way off the track. So, Denise, she immediately starts to look up FearDotCom, and she starts seeing the bugs. I went, oh, crap. She kills a cockroach, pretty huge cockroach. She takes the thing and it's like, and he goes everywhere. I'm like, yeah. And then, yeah, so apparently, what happens is, you go on the website will curse you to find, when Mike does it, it's a little more explanatory where he agrees to find her body or whatever and try to track her down, which is not how this ends, by the way. It's really weird because she's like, I need to find something. What? What do I need to find? Me. I'm like, okay. But like, so then he starts to see things almost right away. And she doesn't die within the 48 hours. Usually it's like 48 hours and she dies. She jumps out the window as they go to check on her after realizing there's something wrong. Yeah. So then they realize the website's connected. Terry says, don't go on the website. We'll figure out something. So what does he do? He goes on the website. He does that. Then he starts to see weird stuff. He's taken her away to the hospital and tells her not to go on the website. So what do you think happens? She goes on the website and then goes to see him and fight. Some of the weird stuff. Apparently she's still in an elevator. But Mike leaves during this and she's not able to see him. But they reconvene at her apartment because he she leaves her door unlocked for some reason. And they realize that, yeah, this is what we have to find it. Then they split up again for some reason, and she goes to investigate the place. Well, they go to talk to this girl's mother, and she has also she loved to play with her ball. It was so much fun. She loved to play at this abandoned mill for some reason, and like the well made sense because that's where she was drowned. But like, here she didn't even die at the mill. The doctor just threw her body in there. So Terry goes to find the body, which she does. She's this weird lady at first, and I'm like, oh, she's not actually dead. She's old lady. No, it's just some old lady, weird old lady. She points her to the right place. She finds the body, which is in water, so she has to swim in water. And she finds the body. And it's confusing, because it's a grown-ass woman. We're seeing a little girl. It's never explained, other than we saw Ringu, so we had to keep it a little girl, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. So anyways, they find they got the body. They did an examination, and they say, "Oh, it's been already done a autopsy on this body." And it's like, well, obviously the doctor killed her, so he opened her up, you know. So eventually, they're able to figure out where the doctor is located. So Mike calls Jeffrey Combs and says, "Hey, I need some backup. You need to meet me here." And this just, okay. I'm like, okay, we're going to get like a cop shootout thing, something. I even thought perhaps Jeffrey Combs was in on it, right? So I never caught him. He was kind of leading them astray. Anything would have been better. But no. They get there, and they confront him. And he's like, "Are you expecting the cavalry?" He goes, "I called backup. It's on its way." "Oh, I don't think so." And you just see Jeffrey Combs dead and strung up in the corner. And it's just like, what was the point of calling him then? There has to be a deleted scene somewhere with him. It just makes no sense. How did he get there before them? It just... Eventually, Mike shoots the doctor. Then he gets stabbed in the ass by Terry. And not before shooting Mike. And so she comforts him. Mike's like, The doc's back up. And he goes to strap Terry into where the other girl was for some reason. This doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, oh, I'm found. Mike's not dead yet, but I'm going to strap her and continue my work with her. So Mike crawls over to the computer, types into FearDotCom. And it immediately kills him. He doesn't get him 48 hours, I guess. He just kills the doctor's guild. Alistair, whatever. Mike then dies, and then we end with Terry and her cat for some reason. Yes, I could have made a joke how Terry's lying there stroking her. But anyway, yeah, that's how it ends. I didn't like that Stephen... Like, Jeffrey Combs was wasted here. But Stephen Dorff dying just doesn't make any sense. Well, the main man, the male character in The Ring died. Yeah, but that made sense because there was a twist because they found the body and it wasn't over yet because we have a serial killer going. In that one, it works because there's still a curse. Finding her body wasn't going to do anything. I don't know. I'll give it a middle of the road. It's... But is it better than or worse than... And I'll give it a minute. I'll give it a... Nah, it's not worth your time. I think it's better than Pinocchio's Revenge, but not by much. I'll give it a low, middle of the road. That's my final answer. Low, middle of the road. That's it. Because I think, yeah, a low, middle of the road. Because it's not as bad as Pinocchio's Revenge, but it's not as good as Until Dawn, so there's that. But yeah, there it is. What are your thoughts on FearDotCom? And no comment, so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.